Hey, what's up, High Speed? Welcome in. Pretty sick looking designs you've been working on over there. Great stuff. So you got the big raid too. That was hype. Okay, I like how this looks better. Guess I also might be able to get a third lap. Streamers support one another. That stuff looks so cool. Hey, what's up, Dread? Welcome in. Yeah, that looks better, and now we got 3 laps going. Slow cooking our way to Volcanus. There's really nothing that the base in the box cannot do, given enough time. How's your factory coming, Dred? You're probably about to get to Aquila or Guiva soon, huh? We'll see if this can hold 3 labs. I really want this next level of physical projectile damage before I start getting the planet fall up to the space platform for Vulcanus. We do have it ready. Right now we're just kind of using these as space science and iron farmers. But this one will be ready to go to Vulcanus, I think, at the next level of physical projectile damage. And we can start getting this planet fall up. Probably not going to be able to get all of this, but we'll get the necessities. This is our space platform maker. Really cheap to get these up and moving. And then they just make space platform as long as you can launch up a bunch of copper cable. This is really how all my space platforms begin now, is with this design. It just works good. This one evolved into space science. Doing the rocket lab tonight? Nice. How are we looking for fluid here? Just pull out a little more barrels. This is kind of a janky setup for uranium, but we don't need that much right now. I want to keep things small. We gotta get ammo going here again. Should have enough barrels now. Yeah, that's good for a bit. Iron and copper are holding. Getting 4 SPM, 5 SPM. We're getting a lot from a little right now. There's only one oil pump jack that's running here. We've got one mining drill for each ore type except uranium. Or excuse me, two mining drills. This is Death World Marathon. That's why everything is so slow. We were able to get a pretty good perimeter here in a pretty good spot. The biters are going to be coming in soon, though. They're going to be coming in fierce. I need to get a radar up over here. I'll wait for a ride. Taking a break from the Mega Base file today. Expansion for Mega Base is almost nigh. We're almost there. We're gonna need more solar if we want a radar here. That ought to do. Nice ride is just on time. Okay, we getting ammo in there now. Good. Ooh, almost got smashed there. These bases in the box designs are so cool. Obviously, they're not for anybody who's all about mass production, but if you're about efficiency, I do have an assembly over here for making any blue belts that might be required. We have a lubricant assembly. But really, everything has just been made from one assembly machine. We kind of craft everything on that one. It's similar to my shipwreck base. We will be finishing that run at some point as well. I think on that file we're getting closer to getting to Volcanus. I didn't think this would be able to hold 3 labs, especially with a speed beacon and efficiency beacon, but we don't exactly know yet. Science might run out. I probably should craft a tank before we leave for Volcanus, just to have that ready to go. I'm gonna have to make a little garage for it here, I think, somewhere. There's no room for it currently. just in case there's trouble that arises. This is Death World Marathon, so trouble could very easily arise. I haven't even made any rockets yet. We've researched rocketry, but I haven't made any because I haven't needed to after the initial clearing. Most of the time I only like to produce what is needed. We're surrounded by forests here too, so that's really good for the pollution. Keep trying to get these more and more compact, but I think we're starting to reach the limit that I am comfortable with. Obviously, we could go smaller. We could use circuit networks to be switching a lot of recipes. But then SPM would be even slower. I think the minimum SPM that I would accept from like a base in the box for this is probably 3. Absolute bare minimum. We're pulling in 4 right now. Sometimes we get to 5. That's good. That's acceptable. Not very demanding on bots. There's only 100 logistic bots in this factory. And I am seeing something here. Is that out of logistic range? Oh, that's why request from buffer's off. Fixed. I wanted to fit 2 separate trains in here, but it just is not working, so we kind of have to use 1 train. There's several different train stops in here. It can stop on the north or the south end. But to get 2 trains, I would have to expand. And I'm trying to keep this confined to what it is right now. This will be a no quality run. We're not doing any quality this run. want to test my solar system edge platform again with no quality. It worked in multi-world. We barely made it. There's a great clip in my clips of me barely making solar system edge with that platform. Quality-less platform. There's only 2 rocket turrets on it. Somehow we barely made it. I think we lost a fusion generator. We lost a railgun. It's basically a miracle that we made it. But we made it. This time I'm going to try to not take any damage on the way. The ore and plate loops have worked pretty good for the furnaces. Definitely maximizing the single beacon. So for this run I'll have to decide if I want to keep the base 6 science production on Novice or we're going to move it to Volcanus. If I move it to Volcanus, then we probably won't need the 6 assemblers there. I think I'm just going to keep it on Novice this time though, because I mean right now it's working. We're really not going to be scaling up science that much until we get biolabs at least. Biolabs I might decide to scale up the science. Yeah, that is timed really good. The train arrives just as the last bit of copper plates are going into the buffer chest, so. We're in a good spot right now here for this factory. SPM might start to take a dip once we start launching up to the platform for the planetfall. Seems like we're getting enough low density structures. Right now processing units are the big bottleneck, which is usually the case at this point in the game. Advanced circuits can also usually become quite a bottleneck, but we're doing pretty good on those. Stone line is full of stone ore and bricks. That's good to see. The thing about no quality runs is the beacons really lose a lot of their value. Just because they're such energy hogs. Whereas with quality, you can get beacons that run at 80 watts. Or 80 MW. No, it's KW, I think, right? Yeah, legendary beacon runs at 80 kW. Normal beacon runs at 480 kW. So a lot of the times, going full ham on beacons just isn't logical. Unless you've got a huge nuclear reactor array. Almost all the furnaces are hot right now. That's good. Aside from the shipwreck base, this will be the smallest base that's gotten us to Volcanus so far. Looks like this one is also going to make it on the starting ore patches. Just because, again, I've been so efficient with it. Every last ore counts. Seems like production science is when Novice really starts to expanding in potential and growth. Largely just because of the beacons. Utility gives some nice defensive boosts like the uranium ammo. And then space science again takes you to another level with the tier 2 modules. Tier 2 modules so much better than tier 1 modules. In the multi-world run I did, we never even started crafting any tier 3 modules. We were using tier 2 throughout. Except for the ones I got from AP item checks. That was another cool thing about that platform I had, was that there was no quality on it and there was no tier 3 modules on it. We still got the solar system edge. Satisfying. Biters are very quiet right now. This is cooking along good. Let's head back to the Empire. See how this base in the box is doing. Looks like science is still ahead. What do I do with all this calcite, chat? We had 13 million. I got it down to 9 million. What do we do with 9 million calcite? We got all lights checking out over here. That's good. $348,000. I think that's going to be enough water. EPS stabilizes about 56 here. Deep space promethium, that ain't bad. At full zoom. So much promethium. Satisfied with this design for Aquilo so far. It's a really compact and relatively fast cryogenic science production. Straight into silo, which is what you want. And it's tileable. We need to get more solar panels here. We got all epics on Aquilo, I think, for accumulator and solar panel. Yeah, we need to get these upgraded. It's time to do that. The old upgrade planner. call up the epics. That's not even really enough, right? Space casinos might be going away soon, people. Be sure to get your legendaries while you can. Cookin EM science. Into the future. You still scrapping? plenty of legendary recycling. I overproduced those NDM plants. Wow, we're under 400 already. Might be time to start that up again soon. Look at all that legendary plastic. That's juicy. The Omni Foundry is just here to kind of help anything that might be needed. Usually need a little extra iron and copper plates. Omimar is slowly going down. Might be time to ship some of that back to Fulgora. We had a big Tesla turret operation going on Novice for a long time as we were expanding. That's where all that Homemore came from. And with that, Homemore should not run out for a very long time. These here are all self-sustained. Holy crap, are we off here? We are off here? No way. That is glorious. And then the scrap will come back on as needed. Ah. It feels good, man. This should be disappearing now. There it goes. We're gonna need another round of accumulators. Okay. We are just about full on legendary bots. That is freaking incredible. These have been going for so long. Oh, we're almost there. This is a beautiful sight for Aquilo when you see legendary bots on this level. We've already got this many legendary active here, but as expansion continues, we're going to need more. And they are circuited to go into the network as required here. Still debating whether I should get a foundry going here. I mean, ultimately why when the import is plenty? And we have a platform that can hold a ton of cargo. Do I go with a 4-core on Vulcanus instead of a 2? We're going to have to upgrade power on Vulcanus soon. I was considering the 18-core setup we have on Novus, but in theory we could ship in another 2 legendary cores, right? And some more legendary reactors, and we'll get a big boost, I think. There's always a little bit of biter eggs left over. And that's why we have security for it. And we got full, excellent. Oh yeah, we're full at 39.55. I think we need to reduce some time here. I've been extremely impressed with this Promethean platform. I didn't think I'd be able to pull the double belt weave off and still keep it at a good tick for processing, and yet we did it. This is the platform I've been dreaming of since I started Promethean. Finally got a good enough handle on it to figure it out. Obviously there's bigger, there's faster. This does speed up once it gets out of solar system, shattered planet territory. But for the size, cost, and speed, I think this is really good. Really satisfied with this platform. And the alarm works. Everyone always asks, where's the belt with the fusion fuel cells? There isn't one. We manually insert them, and there's an alarm that tells us when to do it. Because why use a belt when I can use a circuit network and test things like a real engineer would, right? $211K, that's right on the money. Okay, how are we doing on Gleba? Where's our efficiency models? I think it's time to make this move, folks. It's time to make a move on Volcanus for energy. Because this is only going to get bigger. Volcanus is only going to get bigger. We got to have... I think we got to upgrade to the 4-core here. Twin core still just barely holding with the solar. Okay, so where am I going to put this thing first of all? We got to size this up. I guess it should go like here, right? Can we squeeze it in here? Maybe? Ooh, that's going to be close. I think we can, though. Volcanus probably going to go dark for a little bit once we do it. If I can squeeze it in there, that would be perfect. Oh, look at that. I think we can squeeze it in there. That's glorious. Let's get this ready to go. With a quad bonus, we should be able to run 16, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, maybe more. Because the normal's running 24, yeah, okay. I think 24 might be the number. Could try to go for the 6-core, but at legendary status, I mean, the 4-core should hold for a long time, right? And then this behemoth. This was a lot of fun to design. I really enjoyed this one. Works great. About as compact as you can get for 18 core. Okay, here we go. Let's get this dialed up. We have 10. We're going to take all of them. Because Volcanus is going to be where they're going to be needed, undoubtedly. Okay, once that comes in, we'll start getting it set up. Mass Promethium, go. So these up-cyclers are going to be turning back on. How are we doing for legendary cryoplants here. Should be good. That's such a beautiful sight. Alright, Volcanus, we're going to get this energy thing figured out for you. It's going to be interesting to see how much GW we're actually going to get from the 4 core. I'm going to guess. I'll say at least 2.2 GW. That's why we're not getting the accumulators down, dang it. They're being dropped somewhere else. Where are they being dropped? Gotta be Fulgora, right? Okay, that's full. Fulgora must have just got full. So these accumulators will have to wait for another round. I've kind of got the space platforms running as trains would right now. Here's the precious cargo right here. We're going to be using a lot of materials here now. on the processors are going to be picking up a lot. So got plenty of materials. Carbon fiber will probably run dry first, if anything does end up running dry. We're going to start that plastic import. The EM Science is locked in now. Okay, it's time. The goods are down. We have to try to get this installed somewhat quickly. Okay, it comes right on. Good. That's how I designed it. Nice. That was a quick install. Okay, I said 2.5 GW. Oh no, I said 2.2. Oh, hello. Oh, that's solar though. We should be able to take the solar down now, I think. Alright, Volcanus is upgraded. Three GW, that's hype. And that's only on a very little bit of solar right now. From right here. Oh snap, those two weren't even legendary. Yeah, that's a juicy neighbor bonus there. Good stuff. Once Aquilo is full of legendary bots, we're going to be importing them to Volcanus. We're then going to be sending any sub-legendary bots into the Shredder. It's going to be great. Eventually we will do that with every world. Carbon fiber's still getting full. That's amazing. What am I gonna do with all these legendary biochambers? Holy moly. This upcycler has worked very well. So yeah, we're looking really good for expansion here very soon. We can definitely import a lot more science from Volcanus at this point. Metallurgic will probably be the one that starts falling behind on Volcanus, to be honest. Next push will be for 100k research pod. So we'll need double the amount of labs we got right now, which I think we have 22 right now. $26 labs. So we'll need 52 for 100k. So with electricity now a lock on Vulcanus, what is left on my checklist before we end up expanding here? Fulgora's ready. Aquillo's ready. Gleba's ready. Promethium's definitely on holding already. Vulcanus is ready. I'm trying to think of my checklist, and it might be completed. We might be there. It might be time for more biolabs. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting, though. I guess I should really just wait longer to see if cryo actually does end up running out. Because in theory, if any are going to run out right now, it'll be cryo. And that can be resolved with just a few speed modules and beacons. We seem to be ahead on everything else right now, finally. I've got inventory cleaned up on just about every planet. That was a nightmare on Nautilus. Still got too much calcite. We're going to be cutting stream about a half hour here, folks, as I got a barbecue to begin. About 2.5 hour stream today. Pretty good. We did some base in the box work. We're back to Mega Basin right now. My plan moving forward from here is pretty simple. We're going to push Vulcanus to its infrastructure limits for SPM and science production as of this infrastructure we're looking at right now. And then I'm probably going to start engineering some more novice-based science. These prototypes here they're good, but I've got to figure out a better way to bus the science. I don't want it to be bussed by the passive provider chest. We're going to have belts. Which means I'm going to have to route the belts either here into the cargo hub, or maybe like on this side. And if it's on this side, that means we're probably going to have a belt weave involved. Ideally, I would like all the science to come from Vulcanus and everything. All the science just comes out of the hub. But then we're just kind of sitting on novice resources, really, and not doing anything with them. Which is what I'm largely doing now. Novice has basically just become an upcycling and supply hub at this point. I'm going to have to figure out how to approach this novice-based science. We could also do train. Train might actually be the way to go. With trains, I might actually be able to use the other side. But then eventually I want both sides of the cargo hub to be feeding labs. Because eventually the belt will run out as we add more biolabs. I think it's going to be 32 biolabs. At 32 legendary biolab with stacked greenbelt and 2 requesters providing it, I think that's where it starts to run out. So that's when we're going to have to start building biolabs on the other side. Gleba expansion, easy now. Just drop one of these, drop one of these, connect them, and then have Roboport Network supply the rocket parts from this train. Or I could just have the train continue to go and supply wherever. Because as it gets larger, we're going to need this cargo train going to other outpost farms here for the rocket parts. What would really be swag is to have the rocket parts produced on site, which in theory is possible. But then it becomes bigger, and then there's less resources that are being solely devoted to the agricultural science. So I'm more inclined to just have the master block and the train feed in the rocket parts. Where the master block is here, taking care of all the upcycling, all the logistic network demands, requests from space platforms, and the Gleba exclusives like the stack inserters, the efficiency modules, rocket turrets. Well, rocket turrets aren't exclusive Gleba, but neither are efficiency modules, but the stack inserters are. Well, no, the stack inserters aren't either. You can make stack inserters on other planets, but it's not really that efficient because you gotta ship in the jelly quickly. Biochamber exclusive to Gleba. Bioflux. At some point I need to start soil production again. But we've got a ton of it. Yeah, we've got a ton of the basic soil. Overgrowth? Overgrowth, we still have quite a bit. 2,500. Yeah, that's still quite a bit. That'll be enough for any expansion we require for a while. Pentapods have been non-existent. I haven't even put artillery back up yet. We still haven't seen any. Granted, my infrastructure is currently pretty small. Yeah, they're way out here. Yeah, this is a good spot here to expand, right in between. Lots of jelly nut. I see you, Mako. Fulgor expansion easy now. All I have to do is drop this These two combine on their scrap piles wherever they need to go, and boom. Basically, these void everything at the constant I've preset. So if I wanted to export from here, I could. I can export those. I can export those. Whatever I need to export from any of these at any time, I can. This setup here just kind of supports the other one and keeps enough holmium going. This one actually voids everything at a very low set constant. This one is more focused on EM science without having the intermediate exports. Really cool little setup that took quite a while to test and make sure all the combinators were functioning properly and make sure we're getting the maximum amount of holmium that we can. Like, I love these things. Completely self-sufficient, just drop it and then hook up a pipeline of heavy oil and drop some bots in there. What is it, 50 bots? Yeah, the 100 bots maintain this whole trio here. I think it's like 25 bots is all you need. Crafts all the rocket parts on site. Just good stuff. And seeing as there's no shortage of scrap out here, we're going to be good for a very long time on the EM science. Expansion will be easy. Colo expansion also going to be really easy. I don't even have to build more. First thing I can do is just add more efficiency modules here, or I mean speed modules, rather than efficiency modules. We're still ahead on power here by a lot. How are these coming along? Oh, we already got one. Nice. That's awesome. This is all tileable and inline here, so I can add as many cryo plants as I want, as many quantum processors as I want. And I won't have to expand this because all I have to do again is add more speed modules to the beacon. This is what I really like about the efficiency modules. More than the electricity saves and the saves on nutrient costs on Gleba is the fact that you can use them to balance out and fine-tune production. So that right now I know I don't have to build more ammonia processing. All I have to do is drop a speed module in there. And then another one, and then another one, and then until this thing is at full speed modules, which is a huge expansion. It's really my favorite part of the efficiency modules is how they help you to fine-tune and balance production like this, and electricity. A lot of people say they're worthless and they never use them. I make efficiency modules right away, and I start using them immediately. Next to productivity, I'd say they're the best modules in the game. To me, anyway. I know a lot of people that actually hate them, and they just will not use them at all. In vanilla, I kind of understand it because the bonus, you know, is different. In vanilla, you're dealing with a whole different ball game. There is no fusion. You're pretty much operating all on nuclear. And in vanilla, you want to build big for everything anyway. My type of building doesn't really work very well in vanilla. That said, I can build big. I just like to keep things as small and efficient as I can. I have a wealth of efficiency modules running on Volcanus right now. Mostly from the big energy users like the foundries, the EM plants. And for 167 foundries and 111 EM plants, we're still largely under 1 GW. We top out at 1.4 GW. And that's when all the silos are running. All the silos are running at or near electrical limit, because they are also energy hogs. Oh, that's leaving Aquilo, right? What's going on there? You're not out of ammo, you're just switching ammo. Yeah, see, these silos run at limit. Without all the efficiency modules here, we're looking at 5 GW, easy. And that's not an understatement. It would really be that much. We would probably have to have at least the 6 core, most likely the 18 core. I don't think the 6 core can handle it. It feels good to finally have this up. I've been putting this one off for a while. And it was an easy job. Such an easy job. Holy crap, I can't believe how quick that job was. Trains are still moving. These loop setups work pretty good. They really kind of give you a chance to get the most that you can until the train comes back again. And then I've got all the outs set on priority going out for the splitters. I love my two-way trains. Most of my train setups are unconventional. Can you tell I usually play Death World Marathon? We got legendary nuclear fuel for these trains because we need them to be very fast. They have to cover a lot of ground. Reminds me, how's our uranium doing? $142,000 U-235. We're going to need those when we have to expand Prometheum science. Because the legendary biter nests are very costly, and right now that's what we're working here. We have 60 of them that took forever to get them. And probably a million or more U-235, but we got them. And right now they keep up with a high biter egg demand. We're getting 70,000 up and out every trip and processed. And that equates to 211,000 for Prometheum science. So the only reason that my alarm for this works is because the reactors will run out of fusion fuel cells at different times. If you insert both of these at the same time, and they run out at the same time, then your platform is going to blow up, because the alarm will not go off. So I had to ensure that one always has quite a bit more than the other. And in doing that, it ensures that that alarm will go off. And you'll be able to manually insert the other fusion fuel cells before the platform goes boom. I've tested it, and it's worked every time. I'm not joking when I say we do things different here, folks. We really do. And it works. So when it comes time to scale up Prometheum, it's either going to be make this thing wider and make the belt weave even wider or longer, which we can do. It's squared off really good now, and it's tileable. So expanding this platform would actually be a pretty quick and easy job. But when you expand beyond this point, you're really starting to reach the limits of where UPS starts to fall off. I might just decide to build another one of these platforms. Because I estimate this could probably hold an SPM of research prod around 75,000. So by that logic, I would need what? I need 15 of them for 1 million SPM per research prod, which is eventually going to be the ultimate goal. Probably years down the road. And I'll probably have to get my new computer, or I don't think UPS is going to work. At some point, I've considered clocking. But clocking is a nightmare. And the way my designs work, I think clocking would be even more of a nightmare. But it's undoubtedly a fact that clocking can help with it. Maximizing UPS. We'll have to see how much it can end up helping my designs, but... Still plenty of cargo room for these little platforms. As soon as I get foundries, I upgrade all my platforms to this design, even at normal quality. Obviously at normal quality you have to go slower, but it does still work, and it just gets so much better with each level of quality. Max speed 222 on one thruster with this amount of cargo space. 3 chem plants, 2 foundries, and an assembler. 1 crusher, 1 collector. 4 gun turret, 3 solar panel. That's clean. That's very clean. That's really getting the most bang for your buck. That's what I'm trying to do with all my playthroughs, really. These are small, these are relatively fast, and they carry a lot. And mostly they're reliable. They never back up. I've got high asteroid prod now. What are we running here? I think this is 295 when it comes on. I need 1 or 2 more levels of asteroid prod, I think, to get to the 300 with no modules. And at this point, the only thing I'm really saving from 2 efficiency modules is just a, what? 35% electricity? And this all fits in here really good. With this at 2 efficiency modules, it might even run on 2 solar panels. But then it doesn't square up as nicely. It's not nice and square like it is now. So this seems to be the good equilibrium for that. Did we get another one yet? Not yet. These are hard to get. Same with these. These are very costly. How much cryo science are we sitting on now? We have... Okay, we're under 2 million finally. Wow. EM is under 600k. Promethium stays right around 900,000 a million now, which is where I want it. Everything else I try to keep, you know, just where we want it here. We got way too much military still. I overproduced military. I've got legendary sciences too. I just haven't used them yet. This was from some quality experiments we were doing in some upcycling. In theory, I could upcycle the military science and get a bunch of legendary military science. Still not sure what we're going to do with this supply base. It's here, there's a bunch of resources here. I can get space exports from here. And I think what this is going to end up being is some type of supply base for the coming science hubs we're going to make. What I'll do is I'll probably take like a patch or 2 here, connect them, and then dedicate it to some type of science. And then we can supply in anything that might be needed from here. We can secure any infrastructure with the death train. Got a little mall here to make whatever we need. This has been one of my best designs here. Just these 2 assemblers that always ensure the logistic network has the inserters, and the boxes. You'd be surprised just how far that goes and helps when you're trying to expand or upcycle or anything. We've got most of the basic normal quality items here. But there's nothing more annoying than discovering there's no inserters, there's no boxes in the factory. And this ensures that that never happens. There's our biter egg disposal here. This rarely has to be used. I don't like having to use this, but there are times where you just gotta do it. Still deciding if I want to actually deconstruct the storage in the west. We've got big storage in the west and the east here. What are we still cleaning up here? We still have superconductors. Holy crap. That Tesla turret upcycling we were doing on Novice Forever just produced so many of them. Like everything else is caught up. Steel, explosives. That's awesome. I had a bunch of normal quality science prototypes here. I deconstructed them because we don't really need them. Been refining the science, but we've got early game science now and advanced science. Early game science, obviously just something to get you started here. These have worked pretty good for getting started in my testing. I've got a better starter than this somewhere. Where's that blueprint? I think it's on Fulgora. Yeah, here it is. This is a really good starter for Fulgora when you just land. Eventually this does back up on iron and cogwheels, but for getting started, this is the way to go. I need to get that in this book. I have to update all this again soon. This blueprint is for like a rail world where you've got to go a long way. This is another good blueprint. This one also uses a main bus. There's a science main bus here. I've largely steered away from the main bus, as I just like to go with the fluid main bus now. Oh, that's still holding great. Prod science on Volcanus is the best thing ever. We're not bussing in any stone here. It's made on site. Love to see that. Without bussing in any stone. Oh, dopamine, I'm telling you. I think the production science produces the most dopamine of all. The Prometheum science too. Prometheum science. Oh. But just the satisfaction of the production science. It's running so cheap right now for electricity, for resources. All you have to do is bus in coal, calcite, molten lava, and it does everything else. Wait, there's one more you gotta bus in, I think, isn't there? Petroleum. Yep. From those four, easy production science. No stone required. It's only one assembler on each side of these that makes all that production science. So if you do the math, that's 260 production science per minute from one assembler without having to bus in stone. It's glorious. Everything produced on site. In theory, I could belt it so like one copper foundry would supply way down the line here, which is what I'm doing with the plastic, because there's just so much plastic, it just makes sense to do it. Eventually I probably will try some type of similar design to this that completely maximizes everything, and that has full beacons. But the equilibrium that this one strikes for the cost, the size, the production, it's nearly unmatched. I don't think I've seen anything cleaner from an efficiency standpoint. As in, how much electricity is it using? How much materials is it using? How compact is it? How reliable is it? As anyone who plays Factorio knows, production science is often the largest hurdle when it comes to megabases. Alright folks, and with that, 2.5 hours of power is complete. We're going to take the saves here, and we're going to find you a raid target. Thank y'all for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed today. We're going to have more micro basin and more mega basin for y'all soon. Mega base expansion is just around the corner, I think. We're right there on the cusp of it now. And it's going to be a big expansion. I've got a lot of legendary materials to throw out there. We're going to throw everything we got at it to see where we end up in SPM. It's going to be great. I'm hoping we'll be able to get to at least 250, but that's pretty ambitious. Who we got with Factorio today? Anyone stream Factorio today? No Factorio people right now. Alright, well, we going to Ice Blue then. It's his 4-year partner anniversary. Looks like he is doing some Zelda 2 speedrun. Great streamer, great speedrunner. Good luck to you, Dread, on your Rocket Lab. High Speed, good to see you. Fellow engineer. One last tidbit before we go. 4-Job Fiesta will be starting on this channel within the next week. So get hyped for that. 4-Job Fiesta is going to begin. I'm hyped for it. I'm ready for it. I know others are hyped for it. Others are ready for it. We're going to have a lot of fun this year with 4-Job Fiesta, I think. Hope y'all take care. We'll see you again soon. GG. Let's go give Ice the hype. The factory has grown.